Hello sports fans, Mauricio here. Well, this is a video about DATEPART and DATENAME and date-based analytics and how do you get them. But just want to recap for a minute. We implemented 5 integrity constraints to reduce garbage data from coming into our database. So rule number 1 of databases is a garbage in, garbage out, which means if you have garbage data coming in, then the reports that you make coming out are garbage, worthless. So databases are all about data accuracy, integrity, and so you have integrity constraints. So for example, the customer that's in this sales detail table, there's a foreign key constraint. That customer is a foreign key constraint to the customers table. So when you type a customer into the sales details table, it's going to go look up to the customer's primary key of the customers table, and if you get the number wrong, it's a problem. Same with the products. When we put a product in here, it better darn sure we put a product in the sales detail, that product is looked up into the primary key. So you always look up to the primary key, and the primary key should always be an int. That's my opinion. You may find another person that teaches it otherwise. But works for me. That's what I've seen. But we have 2 integrity constraints to make sure that the data coming in, customer ID and product ID. So we had a if exists. If that customer exists, good. If that customer doesn't exist, oh, that's a problem. Else, that's a problem. Same thing with the product. So this code would have blown up. If we didn't have this if statement, it would have just got down to the insert and said, hey, we don't have one of those product 555. It'll just crash. So we tried to catch the errors elegantly. So the first 2 integrity constraints were customer and product, are they accurate? The third one is the product is already on the invoice. The fourth is checking if the stock is 0. Then just stop and say, sorry, we don't have any. And at that point, you could kick off a reorder or ask the customer if they want a back order, and we can conquer those another day. And we also had an integrity constraint for insufficient stock. They want to buy 300. We only have 100. So just sell them the 100. And again, a good business person. And everyone that I come in touch with is a business person, and no matter how technical you are, the business pays the bills. So we're putting in functionality to sell more stuff or save more money or make things more efficient. So yeah, they want to buy 300, we'll sell them 100. Maybe it should automatically generate a back order that gets delivered directly to the customer. So we didn't do any of that, but that certainly would make sense. So we ran a stored procedure and had 5 integrity constraints, data constraints, to make sure the data is accurate, and that's what makes a database better. The thing I wanted to talk about here is that we have all these strange columns: invoice date, that's okay, but day of month, 1 through 31, day of week 1 through 7, day name, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, week of year, 52 weeks a year. What week are we? Month number, January, February, March, 1 through 12, month name, January, February, March, year, and year, month. What is all this stuff? So when we inserted into the sales details table, we took the chance, or we took the opportunity to fill in all these extra columns using this date part and date name, and that's what I'm here to explain. So there's a couple of ways to do analytics and reporting. First is put the columns in the table that you're going to use in the x-axis of your column chart. So if you want to make a chart on day of week 1 through 7, then you need to categorize each of those cells 1 through 7. So you could either put a column in your table, that's what we did, or you could somehow calculate that on the fly, which is also possible. So to simplify things, we put the value in right in during the insert statement. So I'm here to explain what all this stuff is. So here we're inserting a line item, and we're adding on, I don't know, all these extra columns to help further future data reporting. So, you give a business analyst, marketing analyst, supply chain analyst, you give them access to this data set, and they will see these columns, and they can see that, I can use day of week in a chart or in a pivot table, and that makes it super simple for analyst types. All right, and so how does it work? So let me just change the date here, maybe 5/10, and we'll just run that. And so date part, date name, month, these are all date analytics or date functions to parse out, extract out, change the date into a different number, like we can pull out the day of the month. So date part day is 10. That's the 10th day of the month. Date part weekday must be Saturday. Am I right? Yeah, Saturday. So let's try what 11 is. Yeah, so 1 is Sunday, 7 is Saturday. So the people that made this program decided that the first day of the week is Sunday. So you probably could change that, but I'm not gonna. So date part day is day of the month, 1 through 31. Date part week day is 1 for Sunday. So date name is wonderful. I can see it's Sunday and I could see it's May. Now, why would you want weekday number when you could just use weekday name? Well, the days of the week are not in alphabetical order, and if you put up a chart that has the days of the week out of number, you look pretty bad. So we want Sunday or probably Monday to show up first in the chart, so we can put the date name in the x-axis of the chart, but we would sort that by weekday number. So sort the words by the numbers. Same thing with the month. So sort the month by the month number. So April and August should not be first in your chart. So it's nice to use date. It's nice to put text in your reports. It's kind of normal, but you do need to have the numbers so you can sort the words. So I encourage you to just learn about DATEPART, and there's 10 other ways you could use DATEPART. So we get the week. So this is week 20 and month 5. So month and year are very old SQL functions, but they sure work just fine. So you can use DATEPART month or DATEPART year. That might be too much typing, so you could just type month in parentheses, year in parentheses, but you could use DATEPART month. That'll work also. And this is a keeper, this year plus month. So I encourage you to think about this, and you can save month and year 4 digits plus month 2 digits, and create a 6-digit identifier for the current month. Why would you do that? So you can have a line chart that has 5 or 10 years of data in it if you wanted to. All right, so then what do you do with all of these? You could say, show me all the sales for Saturday, or you could say, show me all the sales for Sunday. So that would be a filtering. Oh, just meant to do this one. That would be a filtering. So show me all the Sunday, and you could total them up. And so you could use these day of week. You could use those to group the data. We'll get to this another day, but I just wanted to show it, I guess. So for any of these metrics that we made, day of week, day of month, you can have hour of day too if you want. But for any of these, you can group the units or dollars and by the dimension. So you could have 100 orders for 2,000 line items, but somehow you have to condense that and then see, okay, what's a better day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So why would you use this? Well, it looks like on Tuesdays we better have a little extra staff. On Sundays, maybe we don't need any staff, and those sales can be handled on Monday or packed up on Monday. So it looks like we don't have many sales on the weekend. And so you could use this to do staffing. So this is group by query. That's really the subject of another day, but that's a very good reason why we should learn DATEPART. Now, so when you use DATEPART, we're actually saving columns of data. So if I pull up sales details, we could see that we're saving, and saving numbers does not take up a bunch of space. So I'm pretty sure the disks can handle it, although other analysts would say, don't put that number in your database table. Keep your database table pruned and neat. And we can calculate that on the fly. If you need to make a report, you can pull that categorization, day of month, day of week. You can calculate that on the fly. Yeah, you can. I don't think marketing analyst or supply chain analyst or production analyst would know how to do that. That's not what they need to do, but maybe they would. So I find it easy to just give them the columns so that you can do reporting such as this. And so DATEPART, date name are worth your attention. And we'll see you next time.